Our Mr. Peanut one did okay.
Hey, Ashley, should we make a TikTok? Yeah, let's make a TikTok.
Hey everybody, welcome into Can I Steal You for a Second, a Bachelor podcast. I'm Ashley Young, here with the crew, Shea, Dustin, Kendrick, and we are ready to recap the episode that I've been most excited for.
Fantasy
Suites. Fantasy Suites. Down in Australia.
Down under.
Where our fun little table mate here has spent some time, apparently.
I spent some time down under.
Are we good? You have to do the whole podcast in that accent.
That would be difficult. But yeah, I've spent some time. I used to live in Melbourne, Australia.
Okay. One more time for the fans.
Melbourne, Australia. Spent some time down there doing a little thing or two.
Doing what?
Honestly, nothing. I was at a point in my life where I wasn't really doing much.
Okay.
And my old teammate is from there. He's from Melbourne. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to come live with you for like a year or something.
I love that.
Like, why not? So I moved there and I got a retail job at the mall at Doncaster outside of Melbourne. And met some cool people and just, had a fun year.
I love this chapter for you. So this is, at what point in your life, you said you weren't really up to much, but how, before you came into this Bachelor world where everyone like knows your story, how long before Bachelor Dustin was Australian Dustin doing his thing?
How long was I?
Like before you were Bachelor Dustin, yeah.
Well, this was like back in like 2014 maybe. Mm-hmm. So this was a while ago, but you know. I've been doing my thing for a while, I guess. To answer your question, I don't know.
It's not really answering my question. What did you learn in Australia? You make it sound like it was kind of like a leap of faith moving down there.
It was a leap of faith, you know. I'm all about adventures. Like, I'm from a small town. Nothing really happens in the town I'm from.
Oh, we've seen the high school picture.
You saw the high. That was the exciting
I don't know if you want to go check it out. It's floating around on Reddit, on the internet. You can describe it. Take us through that. It's like he's got a little gum wrapper grill.
I do. I'll tell you. So, first of all, my mom had paid a professional to do my senior pictures. Allegedly.
We haven't seen these photos.
But the school would not allow us to have those in the yearbook because we had to get it. It was outside their contract with someone else. Blah, blah, blah. So, homecoming, they asked me to come down and take my photos for the yearbook. And I'm in my jersey. We have a game. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'm going to have fun with this. So I took a braid out of I had braids at the time, and my hair was long. I took the middle braid out, so I had like a mohawk. And then I took a piece of gum wrapper and put it in my mouth. And I had a grill in. And you remember back in the day, grills by, what was the rapper's name? Paul something?
I thought it was Nelly.
Was that Nelly?
Am I embarrassing myself?
No, I think that
Nelly?
was Paul something.
Nelly definitely had a version.
Oh my goodness,
Maybe
my
a different
grills.
song,
but anyways, I had a grill of oil.
It's Nelly featuring Paul Wall.
Paul Wall.
Wow, everyone's right.
See? Okay.
Yeah. So
know my songs.
And my mom hated me for that for a long time, but she did get over it.
It's a great photo. I encourage everyone to go check it out. Okay, so then you went from grill to Australia.
Yeah, so I was in Australia and just getting culture. You know, it's the first time I left the U.S. I had never left before, and it was just like a wonderful experience. You know, meeting new people and see.
Did you get into trouble? Anything exciting? People want the tea. They don't want to hear about this cultural journey that you've gone on.
I mean,
what was like the wildest animal or largest spider you saw?
I was gonna say, so spiders, that's a thing. Spiders and lizards are everywhere. I remember this one time I went down to like the park area, and where I stayed at, it was in Warrandyte, and Warrandyte is like it's like in the burbs of Melbourne, and it's like the bushes they say. So there's a lot of, you know, greenery out there. So I went on a jog one day, and coming back, there were all these wallabies in the trail, like in my path to get back home. And I was so frightened. I probably stood there for like an hour before they ended up leaving.
Did they teach you like what to do in that situation?
I was always told do not go up to like a wallaby or a kangaroo because their claws on their feet, they'll scratch you and like rip you right open.
Oh my God.
So I was like, hell no. I'm just going to sit here patiently and wait for the little wallaby families to leave. But I was terrified.
Oh my God.
That was the most scariest thing for sure.
I can imagine.
For sure. No spiders jumped on me. I didn't have any snake surprises, so that's good too.
Did you surf? Are there sharks in those parts?
The sharks aren't bad, I don't think, because it's like in a bay area.
Yeah.
But there was this, every day after work, I would go to Black Rock Beach. And it's like this red clay cliff area, and you're right next to the beach, and you can see the sunset. And I would go there with some other Australians, and they would just play the little guitar, and we would vibe the hell out. It was a mood. It was dope.
That's incredible.
I love Australia.
All right. Well, your boy Pete was down in Australia.
He was down under, getting down under.
Who has a better accent, Pete or Dustin?
Honestly, hard to say. They're
Hard
both
to
pretty
say.
bad.
I thought mine's pretty good. Shit.
There's moments, but I think Pete's was just cheesy. He's definitely like
cheesy.
he's a
Yeah.
little corny.
A little cheesy.
Leaned
I don't
into
know.
it.
Pete's like creeping up in the rankings here with every
I'll
word
give
that
you.
you
I'll
say.
give you a term that they use,
Okay.
and this is what Pete was doing in Fantasy Suite. He was looking for a root. So can you guess what a root is?
No, I think you're gonna have to tell us. What's
You have to Google it. You have to Google it. We'll come back.
I feel like
I
can't.
do. I know. I get what you're going for here.
you get
Trying to
it.
give the people what they want. Yeah.
So
Explain
yeah.
it to us in an Australian accent.
So when someone says they're looking for a root, it means like you're looking to hook up. So you want to hook up with someone. So you say, yeah, well, let's root. You know. Or yeah, Mike, I'm out here looking for a root. You know. Blah,
Did you
blah,
ever
blah.
say that when you were in Australia?
Never. I never said that unless I was being like funny and people knew like I'm American. And,
Okay, yeah. I feel like you
Like,
just come off as a poser.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what Pete was doing down in
He
Australia.
very much was, though. In theory, the show is all about looking for love, not roots, right?
Yeah.
Looking for what?
Have some respect for the Bachelor and
For
what
the journey.
They're there for the right reasons. They're trying to find love.
Yeah, I mean,
forever.
after you find love, you get a root.
Or before, as we learned in this
Or
episode for
before.
some people.
Hey, they were all in love, right?
I mean, it depends who you ask, right?
I think they were all in love.
They were all in love, or they were all falling in love.
I feel like that's the same thing to me.
Not on the show.
No, it's very different. Right?
Tell me why.
It's not. It's the same. It's all semantics.
Yeah, but
Break it down.
it's like the
Break it down.
stages of, isn't that this like an actual thing? It's like the stages of like Bachelor love is like there's tiers of what they say where you level up from like I'm beginning to fall in love to I'm falling in love with you to I am in love with you to I love you. I think that's the progression.
And this, I put it all together. I say if you're falling in love or you're whatever,
Yeah, because you're like
there.
a reasonable human being,
You're there. You're in love. You're there.
not bound by the codes of ABC.
Yeah, I guess not.
That's very real. Well, should we dive into a little bit of recap here?
Sure.
Let's dive in, Sheila.
Oh no, yeah, that's the one where that was getting tossed around by Pete. He walks in his little itty bitty shorts, and he's like,
And they all sort of like shouting Sheila at each other in this like shared hotel suite, which I think we need to talk about because this is the first year the fantasy suites have had all three contestants sharing a living quarters when they're not off fantasying.
which is incredible television.
It's amazing.
Incredibly awkward. Gosh, bless those girls.
They just were sitting on this teeny tiny couch in beautiful Australia, stuck in like the AC inside,
Yeah.
waiting for
just taking their turns
Yeah,
with-
like waiting to tap in and tap out and go hang out with their shared boyfriend.
That was weird. Yeah.
And waiting for the women to come home from their dates, where I was like, if it was an overnight date, we all know what that means.
Sister wives. Yeah. They were sister wives.
Not good ones though, right?
Yeah,
They
I
were
feel like
not down
sister
to
wives
share.
are like slightly more consensual than. Well, I guess they did sign up for the show, right? That's the whole Madison of it all. That you signed up for this.
Yeah, we'll get there, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Hannah Ann gets the first date with Peter.
Yep.
They go jet skiing, super cute. They go to the fantasy suite, and it's just like no drama, no nonsense.
It's like a fairy tale.
Right? Like pretty chill. They look like they're having fun. And I think I said this as we were watching. I really am starting to enjoy Hannah Ann.
Yeah, you love her.
I do, yeah. I think she's like she's young. She's young. But I think she's like, I don't know, normal.
You know what? Yeah, I was gonna say she's very consistent.
Yes. That's a great
there's
word.
no surprises with her or
Yeah.
like moods or anything. She's just 100% herself this whole time, and it's nice and really assuring to see this. So.
And I increasingly appreciate the lack of drama there, or it's not even lack of drama. It's the lack of, I don't know, like we know what to expect with all three of them at this point, and hers is the most enjoyable to watch. Where it's
Yeah.
like we know what to expect from them is that they're going to be cute, they're going to be all lovey-dovey, And like, that's their thing. Their thing isn't like fighting and feuding or vague conversations where no one says what they mean. Yeah. So like, obviously she's the favorite to watch.
Yeah. She's easy to watch. It's good.
I don't know if she's my favorite to watch because I love me some Victoria F drama.
Oh, I can't.
I love
can't
it.
stand it.
It's like a hate watch. You enjoy watching her speak gibberish and Pete just somehow walk away from it saying that was a great conversation. We've grown so much in our relationship.
I'm like,
you enjoy it.
Some people are just drawn to the chaos.
that was confusing for me. I was like, what? What?
It
Where are
made
they
no
getting?
sense.
What are they getting? Where are they going? I'm so confused.
And so part of me is always like, okay, what did the like producers cut out for the sake of time? Because I'm sure that conversation went on for a really long time.
Yeah.
But they just talk in circles.
I hope it's like some depth conversations that they have, and it's just not what we're seeing. I am praying that.
Do you think you know Peter the best out of everyone at this table?
Yeah.
He seems like he's a very patient individual
He's
who's
so
willing
patient.
to kind of let things slide. Is that a fair assessment?
I don't know, or maybe he's like drawn into like seeing a side of them that we're not seeing. I don't know. Maybe it's just.
So I think that's
But
you
to a
being too
certain
nice.
degree, I think we are seeing the same side because he said, he was like, I love everything about Victoria except
does.
our communication. Like, it's real bad. And like, that's what we're seeing too. But we, the audience, are like, sir, that is not a small thing.
It's huge.
And he's kind of like, it is.
It's the main thing in a relationship. I loved how she was talking about like I think like communication is like the best thing for us, and we just need to work on that, right?
Right? Yeah, totally, for sure. Yeah, that's all they say. One word.
The making moves.
Yep.
That was a lot. So Victoria F, I love they got in a little tiff. Let's not
Of course
forget.
they did.
If you didn't watch, it's the same thing they've been doing every single episode. They have like a very fine date. What did they went
They were in a helicopter
Helicopter.
and then they stopped in a jungle and there was a monkey, but I don't remember what the monkey did.
right, so like very fine date, and then they get in a little tiff, and then they make up
tiff.
and they go to the fantasy suite.
Gets the fire started. A little
Yeah.
tiff.
Yeah, they were like, I feel so much closer to you. I was like, what?
I love
You
that
call
he
that?
was
Is
like,
it just makeup? You just
yeah.
break up to makeup.
Yeah, no, it was a lot. So that wasn't fine, but I think what we've all been excited for in this episode is the Madison drama.
Madison
that they keep
drama.
teasing. You know, she hasn't been totally honest with Peter.
Mm-hmm.
And every episode we're like, this is the episode she's going to tell him. And she just keeps putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And we totally forgot to say that in the first scenes of the episode is when she actually says to him, gives him an ultimatum.
Yeah. So they're still in the airplane hangar from
Yeah,
the previous rose ceremony.
So that's how the episode starts before I got too excited and dove right into fantasy suites here. But she
You and
says to
Peter.
Peter, I'm basically giving you an ultimatum. If you sleep with these two other women, I don't think that I can move forward in this process with you.
Yeah.
And he was like,
But she does make a point of saying that she doesn't. See, okay, here's my problem with Madison. Her point, I don't think, is a bad or unfair one, but it's the communication of it.
I was gonna say yeah.
Where she says, like, the whole, like, I'm not giving you an ultimatum, but then, like, kind of giving you an ultimatum. And then she keeps leaning back on, like, I'm not going to hold other people to my standards. And yet she kind of holds him to her own standards. But I think, like, the main sort of, like, crux of the problem, or where Peter kind of is at fault, is that I don't think it's unfair of her to say, like, listen, I know we have different pasts with this regard, but it would be hard for me moving forward if you were to sleep with other people after this point. And the fact that he did anyway, I think she's justified in being upset about that because it's not a mandatory part of the show. Like, it's not fair to be pissed at Peter for dating other women. I would say it's probably not even fair to be mad at him for, like, making out with other women. But when you're down to, like, 3 people and, like, a proposal is 2 weeks away and you're saying, like, this for me is a major value, it is a little bit disrespectful of him to ignore that, especially if...
He's dating. He's got 2 other girlfriends though.
Right.
Like, you just can't put all your. I can't just do what one girl says.
yeah, I
mean-
totally
But
disagree.
I don't think it's doing what she says. If he thinks he's gonna, if she's his number one, and he's planning to propose to her, like barring some other thing, then he just wants to get laid a couple more times.
I think.
No, I don't think he would go into it like that. I think it's like I don't think he knows who his number one is. Like he is like, this is like getting really tough for him. He loves all three of these women. I'm gonna say he loves probably two of them more than the other. But I mean, it's each relationship. It's its own relationship. You can't necessarily just do what one girl wants you to do and just be like, okay, what if it didn't work out with them and whatnot? I don't know.
I think we're at the point of the show where you start making choices.
I disagree. I think
show.
it is selfish for someone. Madison straight up says, I don't expect you to make the same life choices that I've made.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Yes, everyone's their own person. But then you're going to turn around and say, but if you make different choices than what I'm demanding of you, it's not going to work out.
I don't think
that's fair to
it
put
of
on
him.
friends. I don't think it's fair to put on like someone you're dating. Like they're entitled to, it's like the equivalent of being like, if you go out with your friends, like I don't think we have a relationship moving forward. Like you should respect your partner can live an independent life outside of your relationship. And it's unique because they're on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
I don't think most people are giving their like boyfriend permission to go out and like hang out with other women in this sense. But I think that it's naive to sit here and put these restrictions on his relationship with other people.
Yeah.
And also, if I'm going to end up with this person at the end, I want to know that they explored all their options and chose me having checked off everything on their list.
Yep. It seems like she's really forcing him. And
Yeah.
again, she knew what she was getting into. Like, this isn't a surprise. Like, she knew what this came down to. And if you felt this way, this is what you bring up at a very early stage. So there's no confusion. And again, like you said, her communication of this, the timing was off, and the communication of communion it was just off too. So
Yeah.
you
can't rewrite how The Bachelor works.
You can't.
But it's not. Like, it's many other sort of happy Bachelor successful couples didn't sleep with everyone in their fantasy suite thing.
Yeah, but
It's not.
But they wasn't pressured into that though. I mean, she's like pressuring him
I
not
didn't
to
feel
do
like
it.
I didn't interpret it as pressure. I interpreted her as saying, if this happens, this is how I will feel.
I feel like it's pressure.
I think it's pressure, especially when it's coming from someone that you care so deeply about. Like, if you ask me to do something, I'd be like, whatever, like, Dustin, okay. But if
what
it's
if-
like
what if
someone you're, like, in love with and have really strong feelings, like, it's a different kind because you don't want to let them down. You don't want to disappoint
Would it have
them.
been better if she didn't say that to him, finds out that they slept together and goes, okay, you made your choices, and he proposes and she says, I can't live with your choices, and turns him down, and he says, or would say, if I had known that, I might have acted differently.
He wouldn't
might
have
not
acted
have.
differently. Yeah.
But would that be
so.
better if she kept it? Because then we've been saying that she didn't bring this up soon enough.
Yeah.
Then she would be bringing it up even later.
I think she owes it to herself that if she feels this way, she should remove herself from the situation because it's not fair to herself. Because she clearly looks distraught.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like she's like, choose. She looks genuinely upset over this decision. And I think everyone, especially on Twitter, is, good for you for like having values and living your truth and holding yourself to a standard that you've set. It's not easy to, make choices and see them through. So good for her. But I think that you kind of have put yourself in a situation where you're going to be distraught. And I feel bad for her because obviously they have a connection. Obviously they care about each other. But, there's certain fundamental issues where you could meet someone you get along with so greatly. But if there's fundamental things that you don't see eye to eye on, I don't know. I think there's certain things people can't get past. And this seems like one of them.
This seems like one.
And I think part of it too is like specifically Peter. And I think Clay brought this up the other week where it's like, this is a big personality thing for Peter. Like it as much as we know him from, ABC's promos and The Bachelorette and The Bachelor, like this is a huge value of his, which I think in that case makes the ultimatum or makes her statement a little bit stronger and a little bit more like manipulative to your guys' point. Whereas I think there are different people where that would be a much easier ask.
Okay. Have you ever been given an ultimatum, like in a relationship? Or have you ever given one?
I have not.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
I just think,
It doesn't stick out.
yeah, I think relationships, friendships, whatever, like if you care about someone, life's about compromise. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to see it from both perspectives and like put myself in both of their shoes.
Yeah.
And I'm having a really hard time empathizing with any kind of ultimatum, regardless of the semantics.
And it's
I don't
the
see it
timing's
as
off.
an ultimatum though.
It is though. That's what I mean. if you have sex with anyone, I'm gonna have to probably leave. So you're choosing me, or I don't know.
All right, I'll step into your corner for a second here. I think maybe Peter could have said, if this is important to you and this is important to me, like, what is the compromise? Like, how can we meet each other halfway? Because I owe it to these other women I care about to, like, see our relationship through to a certain point. And you're saying absolutely not.
But he also doesn't owe it to them to sleep with them.
Well, I think that if you care about, I don't know, we've been binging Love is Blind. I don't know if anyone's been watching that.
So good.
It is trash television, but it's addicting.
So good.
And
Mark deserves better.
Justice for Mark, another Chicago guy. We're
right?
big bias here for our Chicago people. But that whole show is, is it this idea that if you don't have like a visual connection with someone, can you have an emotional connection? If you don't have a physical connection with someone, and there's some tensions as that show progresses from an emotional to a physical thing, that they lose that spark.
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna see a forever with someone, and that's something you need to explore, I do think that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. With me, I am absolutely having sex with my wife before we get married. It's just, you have to know what if it's just like you.
So you're saying that would be a deal breaker? You meet the love of your life.
Okay, no, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, but
also on a smaller scale, do you? And you're welcome not to answer this. Do you feel like you have to have sex with someone if you go on a couple dates with them, or a date with them, and it's not going well, and you're like, I'm like really not feeling this person? Do you feel obligated to sleep with them to like just make sure that you don't have a connection with them?
No, I would never.
So I'm saying like it's not a necessary box you have to check before you can, move on from someone.
They're three of 30 original women?
Yeah.
He clearly like has a connection with them.
You gotta have a connection with them. It's been a long way.
It's been a long couple months.
But you're about to get engaged. This is gonna be your one person for the rest of your life. You better test that car out. That's all I'm saying. You better just make sure everything's working right. Make sure it's the car you like. Just saying.
Yeah, no, let's not like blur terms here. It's not an obligation, it's an interest.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an interest. I don't feel obligated to drive the car.
But
but you want to take it for a test drive.
If his interest in the car that is Madison, I feel terrible talking about
women are not cars, Shea.
If his interest in Madison, like, I think you do have to like weigh the scales there, where it's not ultimatum territory. If you're interested in one person who says like they're not willing to have sex, or that's like the life choice they've made, does that outweigh?
Okay,
I don't know. I mean,
I hear you. I know I came harsh.
It's a choice, and like, I don't know. I guess The Bachelor is also about making tough choices, where it's like he's kind of like, we're watching him live with it, where it's like he made the choice. We may all sit here and agree that like it is the best choice, because it seems like we're all like tire kicking people. Yeah. But like it's still like that's still a decision that I think.
I will say this, yeah, it's nice, like, it's nice. I don't know, but like.
That's the beauty of podcasting. We have no like script. We have not prepared these words. So
I was gonna say, you could be very intimate with someone without having sex. So again, like, I feel like that buildup, and you already know, like, I'm really sexually attracted to this person. We're waiting though, and I kind of feel like you kind of get a vibe that your sex is gonna be good from there. I don't know if that makes sense.
Sure.
It does not. I guess just from
you've read the reviews on the car is like what I'm getting at. Like,
I guess
you have a taste. You've done your research.
I guess so. Like, you're not having sex, but you guys are intimate, and you get a feel for what it's gonna be whenever you guys
time
do.
In the car.
Yeah.
The Uber's picked you up. Yeah.
You haven't driven it, but you've been.
You get me? Yeah.
This so
you've had it. Yeah, you sat in the seat.
Okay.
I'm
done. I'm done with the car metaphors. Anyway. I get what you're saying though. Like, you can toe the line and get a feel for it. You
get a feel for it, but again, I don't like the ultimatum. Like,
you're
not gonna test my car, but you also can't test everyone else's, or I'm gonna leave.
It was kind of sad. And I feel like we talked a little bit about this last episode. Some of the vibes that we got from her hometown was just her parents being like, have you told him about your morals and your commitments you've made? And it just seemed like she's got a lot of pressure put on her.
So much pressure.
I will say, I think the producers did do her a little dirty, though, where if it wasn't clear how strongly she felt about this, placing her last after Peter had had his other dates, like, there was no chance of saving it, where it's like there is a slim possibility that if she had gone first and made it abundantly clear that she was out if this happened, he might have acted differently. Again, I think we don't think he would have, but that's a little bit on the producers. But also, they're in the business of TV, not
it's true.
car salesmen.
It's true.
I felt bad. And then also I was kind of intrigued. I didn't know how this was going to go down. They were all staying together in the same vicinity, I guess, what we'll call it, house. I don't even know what to call it. So they would come back the morning after and sit down and they'd be like, hey girl, like you look so skinny, you look so tan. How was your night? And then the woman that had come home was just like, it was fun. And they would just sit in silence for like 30 seconds. And it wasn't until Madison kind of saw Victoria F. and Hannah Ann, and she got really upset. And I felt bad. Like, as harsh as I'm being with her, like, ultimatum, I feel for her. Because she has strong feelings. She's trying to live her truth. And then she's stuck in a house with people who know, like, have influenced Peter's decision-making. So it was kind of hard to watch. A fleeting moment, there was a part of me that felt bad.
Her only mistake was just not telling him sooner about it.
Do you think she would have went home sooner had she been honest?
No. I think it was just Peter could understand those standards that she has a lot better. And, yeah, could have probably made better decisions on the way. Could have saved them both from having a little heartbreak moment. I don't know.
It probably would have eased the quote-unquote ultimatum, too, where it's like if he had however many weeks to get comfortable with the idea that this was a thing she was not comfortable with, it would be sort of probably in his mind when he's thinking about fantasy suites and whether like she even makes it to fantasy suites. And like she could have made it very far, but it could have, I think part of the reason it read like an ultimatum or it landed like an ultimatum was because it did feel kind of sudden.
Oh, yeah. He was blindsided.
Oh, poor Pete.
Yeah.
Poor Pete. So
Where?
I know the episode kind of ends. They're at dinner, and he's like, "I gotta be honest with you. I did not abide by your wishes," and she looks ill. She's like, doesn't have words, and she kind of goes, "I need to go for a minute," and she steps outside, right? And then they talk and whatever.
She gets locked outside.
It was, yeah. We were kind of like, where is she?
Standing there.
She's like in the window like this.
I've been out here.
I'm cold. These sequins aren't warm. So, they talk, and then she ends up leaving. And I can't believe she walked. I really can't believe she walked. But I think that, again, shout out to Madison, speaks to how, committed to her values and what she holds herself to. Like, that takes a lot.
Yeah.
And I think I shouldn't speak for everyone, but I'm sure we've all had a moment where someone kind of made you question like something you believed in because you're just so infatuated with them. So to go on national television and say that you're like in love with this person and still hold true to your values, like that's really good for you. Good for you, Madison. Enjoy all your Instagram followers. Do we think she's coming back next week?
I'm going to ask you a question in return. Do we think what do we think it sort of says about her quote unquote morals or standards? That sounds more judgmental than I meant it to. What do you think? How do you interpret it if she does come back? If she made such a big deal out of this?
Listen to your heart.
Keep going.
When it's calling for you. Listen to your heart. That's how I take it.
That's all we got.
I think she's listening to her. At least she's just following her heart. If she returns back, and I don't know. Not everyone can be perfect on any situation, even on their faith or their standards or whatnot. And we all bend the rules here and there for someone that we truly care about. So
Yeah.
Do we think they get past it?
I don't know. It's hard to say. There's some good competition.
Okay. Okay. I was going to say I could see them getting past it. I think it's really easy to be like, hey, it's not like he cheated on her, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, I hooked up with these two girls that you were living with at the time. We weren't officially. We were on a
with
break.
your roommates.
Yeah. you know, it was like he is dating 3 women. That's the reality of the situation. I think I could see her saying, you know what, I'm really disappointed, but like if you respect my values moving forward, like we can make this work.
Yeah.
But she is very religious. I mean, you have to forgive, right?
Yes.
I mean,
it's very Christ-like.
Very Christ-like, yeah. I mean, you have to forgive. So I can see them getting through it. And if she doesn't want to forgive him, I mean, I don't know.
He's got, like you said, what? There's tough competition, is what you said?
Well, I know. I'm terrible. I never say. My ex was really like she's like, you used the worst words of what you're trying to get across. And
No, I didn't think so.
But I mean, there is like Hannah and Anna is like they're vibing really good right now. They're not having any issues. They're just like really connecting. And then you go where just Pete is blindsided by Madison's I'm waiting for marriage moment. He was probably like getting all excited like. We're getting ready to, have a great moment and like, which is fine.
Record
but it's
scratch.
just kind of blindsided, off guard. So I don't know. And I don't think Victoria's in the same boat as those two. But
I think he had his moment with her and we can send her home. There's no
I don't
way
like to
you want a
say
future
that. I
like
don't like to
that.
say like, oh, he kept her around just for like sex.
He had to feel out his off. We just talked about it. We just went on like a 20-minute tangent about
I don't think he
needing
was
to
just
test drive the car. And now you're
But
backing down, being choice with your words.
I mean, I think it is good to test drive the car, but I don't
We
want to
stop saying
say
that no
that he's like keeping her around just to test drive the car.
But there are.
Okay.
Never mind.
It's tough. It's tough. No, I just think that there's no, at least from what we've seen, there's no substance to their relationship.
Yeah.
Like you see how happy and like all he does with the Victoria F, they like cry and talk in circles and fight, and I can't imagine like legally committing myself to that.
Not stress.
No.
Not a stress.
And it just seems like we said this before, but like Hannah Ann seems so like straightforward and simple and like not her specifically, but like their relationship is just like enjoyable and they seem happy together and having fun. And it's like when your other 2 options are so
Complicated.
intense. Yeah.
We got consistent versus complicated is how I would describe our contestants here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen to your
So if Madison doesn't come back, like I feel like Hannah Ann
wins by
come on,
default.
yeah, like are we tuning into the finale? But the moment everyone keeps teasing is Peter's mom weeping.
Yes.
And she has to be talking about Madison, right? Like we're all on the same page here.
Who knows?
I think so.
Who else would she be talking about? Like the
I
dog
have
that got let out?
I have no idea. I mean, yeah, I don't know. You would think so. We'll see.
Okay, tell me somewhere else. If it's not Madison, who else could she be that upset about?
I don't know. Maybe
The ex with the blurred out face.
there's so much
like-
that we're not seeing. So maybe I don't know. Maybe her and Pete have a conversation, and Pete says how much he's in love with someone, and I have no idea. We just don't know. But
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
okay.
So she's talking about
Interesting.
Madison. We got a couple episodes left.
So we should make a bet.
2.
You think she's talking about Madison?
I feel like it's too obvious. And when it's too obvious, I don't want to believe it.
Well, originally the obvious
We should make
choice
a bet
was
on this.
Hannah Brown.
Oh, yes.
And
like
then way back when.
Way back
Maybe it's the producer.
Ooh.
I'm
Really?
team producer. Like, I'm really sad
We
that
should
people
put bets
shut
on
that
this.
down. What are we betting?
Like a shot or a beer chug or something like that.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh man. I was like very set on Madison until you started.
Honestly, I don't know either. Honestly, like people might think like, "Oh, you're cool with Pete. He told you everything."
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
He gets so paranoid. He's like, "I can't tell you nothing. I'm sorry." So
I would be paranoid too.
yeah, and I don't even like. It's not even like I don't even want to ask him. I don't want to ask. I don't want to put anyone in the position. So
Did you ask his mom?
no,
Hey, who you talking about?
I did. I didn't know that was a thing until after.
Hey,
After I
Mama
met her.
Weber, just checking in. I keep seeing this clip of you.
I should message her right now.
crying. Is everything okay?
Who are you talking about, Miss Weber? Who are you talking
Oh,
about?
what's going on over there? In the back of my head, I want like a plot twist and something scandalous that we just didn't see coming. But
They
I'm going
keep
Madison.
promising.
We'll make a bet. I'm just gonna do the opposite bet what you guys do. I honestly don't know, but Let's make a bet.
Oh, you
Can we
go
even
first.
come up with 3 options?
No, I'm-
Okay, let's do 3. Let's do 3. Okay.
If we come up with 3, I will get in on this. But right now, I feel like we only have one.
So Madison, Hannah Ann. Are we gonna put Victoria in there?
No.
Hannah Brown.
Are we saying who wins or who she's crying over?
Who she's crying over?
Okay. She's not crying over Victoria.
Yeah.
You're
No.
Right. You're right.
No.
You're right.
Let's be real for a second.
You're right.
I also feel like it's incredibly unlikely she's crying over Hannah Ann because, again, there's no drama there.
True.
I mean, if one of you want to take that as your pick,
No.
fine. But
Yeah,
I'm not.
right.
I'm not taking a shot over a guaranteed loss.
I'll take that. I'll take.
What?
I'm taking the opposite of you guys.
That's
you guys
so
said
fun.
you guys don't want to
Be
take
an
that.
independent thinker. Okay, so we got Hannah Brown.
Yeah,
we
let's, like,
got
still brainstorm
Madison
names.
here. Mm-hmm. And then the third one's a wild card, which I think you should contribute personally, but
I'll say Julie.
Julie, okay.
Julie. All right.
Love
Since
it.
you guys love that conspiracy theory.
It's what it is. Hear
I'll
me
take-
out here. Hear
I'll
me
take
out here.
Julie.
But she wouldn't be part of. I mean, I'm with you, but she wouldn't be part of the show. I feel like the only way the Julie storyline pans out is if he's single at the end of the show and then they start dating.
Right. I just
You have
love
to
the idea
respect
that
the
like
sanctity of
But
the
that could
Bachelor.
be like an end of the show clip or something. Like, do you remember what happened with Hannah and with Jed? Like, they ended up together, and then
yeah.
there was more to it that
yes.
since the points of them being together. So I don't know.
I could see it. I just love the idea that like through all this like scripted like champagne drama and like sound effects they add in, that when the cameras weren't rolling and you're doing press tours with your producer and like, you know, hanging out, like you actually built a genuine connection. I love that. Like you
That'd be a
found
good
love where
movie.
you right? Like
They would
you
make a
found love
movie
where you
after
weren't
that.
looking. And I just think that's so
That would be
more
like the
real.
bodyguard.
Yeah.
Just
The
different.
producer.
The
The
producer.
producer. Okay, get the copyright on that.
That would actually be really good.
So again, I would just love to see that happen because I think it's like really interesting.
All right. So what's
real.
our bet? We're gonna take a
I'm
shot.
going Madison. Yeah.
Who you going with?
Come on, Shea.
Do
We
we
can't
need,
have this
do
much
we need
dead
to
air.
do different ones? Do we feel strong about that?
We can all do 3 separate ones.
All right, I went Madison. You got 3 seconds. 3. You're on the clock. 2, 1.
All right, I'm going Madison too. Sorry.
Oh, boo.
I'll take Hannah.
Hannah Brown.
Hannah Ann.
Hannah Ann.
I'll do Hannah Brown, then, just for old
She's-
time fun.
I think she's long out of the picture.
Picture.
But the mom thing
She would
could
have
be
kept on
totally out
coming
of
up here and
context
there,
too.
right?
I don't know.
Nothing builds up. I mean,
I don't know how to, like, if I should trust you or if you're trying to, like,
I
throw us
feel-
off the
I
trail
swear I
here.
don't know anything. I swear to God, I
In the
don't.
interest of us having different
I wouldn't play you
bets,
guys like that.
different picks, and at least being someone that's within like the on-camera Bachelor universe, I'll go Hannah.
Okay. Hannah Brown.
You know, Brown. I'll go Julie. I'll go the producer.
Have you met Julie? Do you know Julie?
Yes, I know her.
Have we talked about this?
Yeah,
Okay. We have talked about it. It's all coming back to me. Clearly, I take our conversations to heart.
they're together.
Oh, man. Any other thoughts on this episode? I know we spent a lot of time on the ultimatum stuff, but that's kind of what I took away from this episode.
I learned that you two are scared of heights.
Oh, my God.
I'm terrified of heights.
Yeah, I don't do heights.
That's like the most terrifying thing. I have bad dreams of like just being high up and like looking. Oh my God, it's just terrifying.
So you wouldn't do it, even for the experience?
Hell no.
See, I think I would do
never.
it.
What if you were given an ultimatum?
Shit. Is there a large amount of money in it?
No, just a lifetime of happiness with your potential true love.
It's one of 3 loves
she
of
was
your
like,
life.
I'm
she
gonna
was
be
like,
miserable my whole fucking life.
if you
that's
can't
the
do
case.
this with me, I'm gonna have a really hard time moving forward.
Like, girl, bye. Bye bye.
I think I would do it. I would be scared out of my mind, but I would do it.
I'd black out. I can't. I'm terrified.
Like, even just to, like, prove to yourself, like, face your fears? No?
Is there a level of height that you could do? Like, could you do the helicopter?
I've done a helicopter before. Like I've been in planes, helicopters, roller coasters.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do any. What's the question again? What are we doing? Are we jumping out of something? Are we
No,
bungee
they have
jumping?
it on the side of a
Climbing
building. Upstairs on the side
Oh,
of the building.
no,
From
that
the
could- I can't do
78th
that.
floor to the 90th
I would
floor
lock
of
up.
Stone.
I would lock up. My legs would.
I would be shaking.
I wouldn't be. My legs would just stop. That's terrifying.
Yeah, when they were, like, leaning
Hail
back,
to the
taking
no.
a selfie.
Oh hell no.
I think it sounds fun.
Yeah, Shay's in. I'm out. I think she got gypped on the date. That was definitely the worst of the 3 dates.
I think
Climbing one?
helicopter.
Jet skiing, climbing.
Jet skiing's fun. Well, I think they're all exciting in some way.
Yeah.
I'm just triggered too by the helicopter. We talked about the helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
and today was like Kobe's memorial. That was sad.
Yeah.
Like I'm anti helicopters right now.
Yeah, it was definitely like an interesting
I think
same
the
day.
building is the best story for like being in Australia and all that, and assuming like you're not afraid of heights.
Which
Oh yeah,
we are.
Yeah.
When you
Because
get
otherwise, it's
casted-
just like you're jet skiing on a very cool beach, which is awesome, or you're in a helicopter, which they've done like 100 times on this season already.
I'm over
Yeah.
the flying. When you
well,
get
it's
casted,
kind of
do they
his thing.
ask you your fears?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, they know.
So they have. I just feel like they have an interesting file.
They do.
That would be
yeah.
good TV. What's
they-
the
they
worst
know.
date we could throw Dustin on? Skydiving.
Never.
But you have to do-
I've been indoor skydiving. That was pretty cool.
That's not the same.
It had to
Same
be
to
like what
me.
they did with like Victoria F, where she was like, "I'm afraid of heights," and then they took her roller
Oh
to the
yeah.
roller coaster thing.
And she was fine.
Yeah, and then somebody else found an Instagram of her skydiving, and they're like, "Are
Skydiving.
you afraid of heights,
Oh my god.
It's all
or
out
are
there.
you just Victoria F?"
We got any mailbags this week?
Oh yeah. Oh, you go ahead.
Oh, I don't think I have any.
I just put up a thing right now.
We love to throw up on Dustin's Instagram story. You can respond. I think it's on your story, right? Any questions, thoughts, concerns?
Let me get a couple. You want to?
Couple
I'll let you
DMs.
pick.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy.
No, there's
There's a
nothing that
funny
crazy.
one though. There's a good one in there.
Oh, wait. There's. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Do you want me to ask that?
The one by Mike.
No. Wait. No, not the one. I didn't even read the one by Mike.
Which one are you looking at? The one's like,
Wait,
why do I smell like that?
What's that? No, read the top right. Can I read that?
Comment on my new post.
No.
What about that girl you never finished with? Don't.
You just read it into the mic. I hope you know that, but you were like, read Mike. That's not Mike.
Oh man, that was a long time ago. Don't share my name. Sure, go ahead. You good?
No, we're good.
I at least want to see it.
Okay. When did you get your nose pierced?
I've had it done twice. The first time I got it done was like in 2016, I think.
Is this
and
post Australia?
This was post Australia. I was doing like an internship with a developer here in Chicago, and I thought it was more professional for me to take it out. After that, I got it
Okay.
back. So I just
that.
recently had this one 2 years.
Wow, congrats on 2 years strong. with the nose
2
ring.
years strong, guys.
Is that the longest relationship?
I'm gonna keep it going.
Let's see. Why do you smell like that? I don't know what smell you're referring to here, but
I don't know either.
what?
I just-
Someone does. Someone,
just do.
Someone knows how you smell.
I think I smell okay.
All right, here's one. How was it walking in on Hannah kiss the taller version of you, named Mike?
I was actually, when I was reading that, I was trying to think about it. I don't think they were kissing. Mike, I don't think you and Hannah were kissing when I walked in and interrupted you guys. But how's it feel that I kissed Hannah before you?
Oh,
Mr. Mike.
ooh,
Mr. Mike Johnson.
damn, Mike.
Calling him out.
How was it? It was clearly unmemorable. It did not affect him. Oh man, I think that's the best we
Nothing
got
too
here.
exciting. Everyone's asleep.
Yeah, aside from that one up there, if you ever, maybe we'll do a bonus episode.
That
one
was
day
funny. Let
with
me
all
see
the-
that again. Wow.
Is the person that sent that? Who is it? Care to share?
So it's a girl I hooked up with a long time ago. Like this is back in like, I think I was high school.
Wow.
Like end of like high school.
You were dating someone in high school.
Listen,
Oh my god.
we break up here and there.
Okay.
You do.
So if you haven't been listening to the podcast, Dustin
That's true, go ahead,
shared
that's fine.
freshman Dustin was dating senior girl
Yep.
for 5 years.
5 years.
5 years. So
From freshman year in high school to my sophomore year in college, something like that.
this girl was a senior in high school, dated freshman you, went off to school or did her thing, post high school, still dated you.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me you hooked up with someone in high school?
Well, I mean, we weren't together the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
There's breakups here because you're young, you're childish. You just break up over anything. Wow, you're grilling me right now.
I'm intrigued.
Wow.
You gave me the power of the phone.
Wow.
I'm intrigued. I'm just
Anyways,
trying to piece the timeline here.
yeah, this is a girl. Yeah.
Do you guys stay in touch?
I do not.
Aside from this mess.
Clearly.
haven't talked to her in years, but
Wow, sliding
This will be like a nice little reconnection.
she's a mother with kids now.
Oh, come on. Get out his DMs. Yeah, so I guess
that's
for
funny,
context, for everyone that's sticking through as we're teasing it,
That is so
she was reminiscing on their time together, is what the message was. So threw me for a loop.
Threw me for a loop too.
You gave me your phone with that on
I
there.
didn't see that. I was like, what are you talking
Here,
about?
pick a question, and that's the first
She's
one I
like,
saw.
you really want me to? I'm like, yeah, what? Did you not see this one?
Wow, shout out that.
Yeah.
Oh, high school,
Shout
good
out.
times. Good times. Sweet, sweet high school memories.
Ooh, high school.
Oh, high school. I feel like on that note, I don't know if we can top that.
I'm sure you guys have some stories.
I have no stories. I am the most boring person on planet Earth.
I don't think you are.
I don't know, man. Shay's just looking at me like, Ashley. Well,
I'm not going down that road.
I don't think we can top
We'll bring up your stuff next time.
next episode.
Next time.
I think that does it for us here tonight. We have a few more episodes left of the season. Is Peter going to find love? Who is his mom crying about? I have a lot more questions than I have answers. Continue to like,
Will
subscribe.
Madison be back?
Will Madison be back?
We should be back.
I hope so. I really like her. I want her to have a second chance.
What do you like? I thought you liked
the beginning of the
Hannah Ann.
podcast, you hated
You're
her.
just-
I didn't hate her. I was annoyed.
You're
I
just
thought-
saying you liked Hannah Ann.
I do like. I can like two people.
yourself
Peter
together.
likes three, so everyone needs to calm down. Peter can have three women. I can have
You
two
need to
favorites.
pick. You need to pick and stick with it.
I don't like any of them for him. That's my pick. But
Really?
Oh,
You don't think it would make a
I
good
like that. It's so harsh. Now I feel like I'm putting my foot in my mouth. But I'm not overly impressed with his relationship with any of these three women.
Okay.
I like Hannah Ann with him as a girlfriend. I would feel less confident if he proposes.
Right. I think that's what's in the back of my head. I don't see him like having a life with any of these people. But that's why we gotta watch the next couple episodes. Continue to listen to our podcast. We go live after every Bachelor episode on Twitter, on Facebook. You can also catch us on YouTube and all the major streaming platforms. The podcast will come out. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, DM Dustin so we can read it on the air next week.
Goes down.
weirder
Tell
the
us more
better.
about his high school.
Yeah, any
down.
other high school
No.
sweethearts out there? Because
No.
clearly there was more than the one girlfriend that we
No.
learned about. All right, that does it for us here. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you soon.